Good day, wonderful and amazing learners. Today is another opportunity to learn English language, and I hope you're ready for another wonderful and interesting experience today. This class is proudly sponsored by Igota Virtual Learning Platform, and I am your tutor, Esther Olowo. Get your pen and your book and be prepared to learn amazingly in today's class. In today's class, we will be diving into the concept of stress in words and sentences. This topic is a very essential area of spoken English. When we talk about stress, we are not referring to the kind of stress that you face or have when you're preparing for an exam, but the kind of stress that gives English its rhythm and melody. By the end of the session, you would have been able to identify the meaning of stress and the use of stress correctly in words and sentences. Get ready to go into the topic stress in words and sentences in today's class. Let's quickly look at the lesson objectives. By the end of today's class, you will be able to understand and know the definition of stress. You will be able to identify the characteristics of stressed and unstressed syllables. You will be able to differentiate between content words and versus function words. You will be able to talk about the types of stress. And lastly, you will be able to identify importance of stress in English. In spoken expression, you will be able to identify the importance of stress. So, right into the class, first of all, we will be looking at the definition of stress. What is stress in English? Are we referring to that aspect of life that makes you overwhelmed or sick or tired? No. Definitely, we are talking about the stress that helps give your speech the melody and rhythm that it deserves. Stress in speech refers to the emphasis or prominence you give to a particular syllable. Remember syllable in words? So the stress or the emphasis you give to a particular syllable in a given word or in a word in a sentence. This emphasis helps you to convey meaning. The emphasis you give at a particular time in a word or in a particular word in a sentence helps you to convey meaning, emotion, and rhythm in spoken language. Stretched syllables or words are usually louder, longer, and have a higher pitch than unstressed ones. So, stress in English refers to the emphasis you place on certain syllables or words while speaking. This emphasis can affect the meaning, the pronunciation, and even the comprehension of whatever you say. For example, in the word record, the word record, in the word record, re and cord are the two syllables that make up that word. So the word record is a verb in the sense that the word re, the syllable re is silent. It's quieter. Why cord is longer and louder. So in the word record, re is not stressed, while cord is stressed. So in the word record as a verb, the syllable cord carries the stress, while in the word record, 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 re is the first syllable, cord is the second syllable. So in that word, you will notice that the syllable re is louder than the syllable cord. So record is a noun, record is a verb. You see, where you place the stress changes the meaning of the word. So, stress is capable of changing the meaning of a word and giving it a particular meaning or making it to convey a particular emotion and rhythm in spoken language. Furthermore, let us look at the types of stress that we have in English. Stress in speech can be categorized into different types. Each of these types is playing a unique role in conveying meaning. And differentiating between the types enhances listening and speaking abilities. So, first of all, we will be talking about word stress. Word stress. When we talk about word stress refers to the emphasis placed on a particular syllable within a word. Remember, when we're talking about stress, that emphasis, that strength we give to a particular syllable within a word is what we refer to as word stress. When you have a given word, break it into syllables and listen to the one that is louder or longer than the others. That syllable that is louder and longer than the others is the stressed syllable. For example, in the word table, there are two syllables in the word table. We have syllable te and syllable bull. So in the word table, te is longer than bull. So table, it has a stress on the first syllable, while the word about has its stress on the second syllable. About, look at the word about. In the word about, the first syllable is the schwa sound. Remember, the schwa sound is never stressed. So about. So about is stressed. Remember that when you want to stress a syllable, you write them in capital letters. And when you check the dictionary, you will see a diacritical mark on that stressed syllable. Wherever you see the diacritical mark, the dictionary is telling you that that syllable is stressed. Okay, so in the word about, syllable bowed is stressed, which is the second syllable. So, word stress is very crucial for correct pronunciation and comprehension of words. In another word, in the word reliable, we have rely and able, and able. So, reliable, lie is longer and louder than others. So, reliable is stressed on the second syllable. Another example is in the word conversation. 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 Say is stressed longer and louder than other syllables in the word conversation. So, say is the third syllable and it receives the stress. Now, can you try this? In the word photograph. 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 Can you tell me the stress syllable? Yes, you got it right. And that is the first syllable. Photograph. That is the syllable that carries the stress in that word. Another type of stress that we will be looking at is the sentence stress. Sentence stress. Sentence stress refers to emphasis placed on certain words within a given sentence. Stressed words are usually content words. When we talk about content words, we are talking about nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. That is to say that one of the keys that you have to memorize in this topic is the fact that not all words are equally stressed in a given sentence. No, not all words. Some words are stressed while some remain unstressed. So, words that are usually stressed in a given sentence are referred to content words. They are referred to as content words. They are usually stressed. Content words include nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. I'll take that again. Content words include nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. These words usually play a prominent role in sentences, and as such, they are usually stressed. So, content words are usually stressed in sentences. So, when we are talking about sentence stress, we're talking about that emphasis you place on a particular word in a sentence to give it the particular meaning you intended it to have. While unstressed words are typically function words. Unstressed words are function words. You remember we have talked about content words. Now, there are some words that we don't need to stress. They don't usually take the stress. They are called content words. These includes articles, auxiliary verbs, prepositions, and conjunctions. Articles, auxiliary verbs, prepositions, and conjunctions are not usually stressed. They are called content words. They are not, they are called function words. They are not usually stressed in a sentence. An example is, she bought a new car yesterday. She bought a new car yesterday. Bought here is stressed. It's a verb. That is, she didn't sell, she bought. She didn't she didn't borrow, she bought it. A new car. She didn't buy a new bike. She didn't buy a new aeroplane. Instead, she bought a new car yesterday. So that means that the emphasis is placed on the word bought and not sell and not sold. Is placed on the word car and not bike, not airplane, not jets. Are you getting it? So content words are usually stressed, function words are not usually stressed. And another example is when you say, I didn't say he stole the money. I didn't say he stole the money. Emphasis on different words changes the meaning. Now, if I say, I didn't say he stole the money, I am trying to say someone else said it. In written expression, the word I is capitalized in that statement. I didn't say he stole the money. So I'm trying to say someone else said it. Then if I say I didn't say he stole the money. I didn't say he stole the money. Someone else did. That is, someone else stole the money. So by the time you see these expressions in written form, the particular word that is capitalized initiates or conveys what the speaker is trying to say better than when you only say all the words without placing emphasis on any of the words. So, like I said before, sentence stress refers to the emphasis that you place on certain words within a sentence. That is to say, that these words that are emphasized carry the key meaning in that sentence. Lastly, we have the contrastive stress, contrastive or emphatic stress. Stress is used to highlight a contrast or correction, to emphasize a particular part of the sentence where the speaker wants correction to be taken. For example, I said she bought a car. I said she bought a car, not rented one. That is, she bought the car, she didn't rent it. She bought the car, she didn't sell it. She bought a car, she didn't borrow it. This type of stress clarifies or emphasizes effectively by clarifying misunderstandings. It's important for emphasizing specific details and correcting some misunderstood uh, emotions or feelings about a particular speaker's expression. So I said she bought a car, she didn't rent it. Those are examples that we need to know. Another example is, I do know the answer. I do know the answer. In that sentence, do is stressed because the writer is trying to say, I do know the answer, not that he doesn't know. Okay, another sentence. He didn't take your pen. He didn't take your pen. He didn't take your pen. That is to say, he borrowed it. He didn't meant to steal it. So he didn't take your pen, meaning he borrowed it. He has the intention of returning it. So he didn't take your pen. Look at the word that is stressed in that sentence. The word didn't is stressed in that sentence. Take note of all these things that we are talking about in order to have a very clear understanding of the types of stress. So, where the stress falls in a given sentence makes us understand better what the speaker is trying to pass across to the listeners. So it is very important to understand and listen carefully in order to know where the speaker is trying to place his emphasis. And then in written language, in written expressions, that particular word that the speaker is trying to emphasize on would be stressed, would be written in capital letter for you to identify that that particular word is stressed. In spoken expression, remember that that given word will be given more prominence when the writer is speaking. The given word that the writer wants, that the speaker wants to call your attention to, is given more prominence and made louder and longer than the remaining part of the sentence. So take note of all these details in understanding the different types of stress. All right, further along, let us quickly examine the importance of stress in English. Why is stress an important element of written and spoken expressions? First of all, understanding stress is crucial in English as it is a stress timed language. English is a stress timed language. Therefore, it is important to understand stress in English. Proper use of stress improves clarity, fluency, and listening and speaking skills. It also enhances the understanding of meaning and emotion in communication. One of the importance of stress in English is that it makes our communication very clear. So there is clarity in communication when stress is properly applied. Proper use of stress improves clarity in speech. It makes you understand the speaker more clearly, making it easier for listeners to understand clearly. Clear articulation of stressed words creates a better exchange of information between the speaker and the listener. This clarity helps avoid misunderstandings of any sort. So, when stress is carefully applied, the listener understands the speaker better. Another important aspect of stress is that it helps in developing fluency and listening comprehension. It helps the listener to develop fluency and listening comprehension. As stress helps patterns guide listeners in following speech. It helps to pattern and guide the listeners in following the speech. So it increases your fluency and listening skills. Mastering of these patterns fosters confidence in speaking. When you master the patterns of speaking, you know how you're going to speak that will make your listeners understand you. It helps you to master the patterns and uh and the area of speaking confidently and clearly. So it also helps to boost your confidence whenever you're speaking. Effective communication encourages successful interactions. So when you communicate effectively by using appropriate stress, interaction is successfully engaged. One of the importance of stress in English is that it makes our communication very clear. So there is clarity in communication when stress is properly applied. Proper use of stress improves clarity in speech. It makes you understand the speaker more clearly, making it easier for listeners to understand clearly. Clear articulation of stressed words creates a better exchange of information between the speaker and the listener. This clarity helps avoid misunderstandings of any sort. So, when stress is carefully applied, the listener understands the speaker better. Okay, at this juncture, I would like to quickly take a brief recap of the features of stressed syllables and features of unstressed syllables. Remember, these features also apply to words. So, words that are stressed and syllables that are stressed, what are their features? Features of stressed syllables is that number one, stressed syllables are usually louder. Stressed words in sentences are usually louder. Two, they are longer in duration. Stressed words in sentences are longer. The speaker pronounces them longer than other words in the sentence. And stressed syllables in words are usually longer than other syllables in that word. Three, they have higher pitch. The speaker pronounces them higher and more clearly than other syllables. Stressed syllables are usually pronounced higher and clearly than other syllables. Stressed words are usually pronounced higher and clearly than other words in a given sentence. Now, let us look at the characteristics of unstressed syllables. Unstressed syllables are those syllables that are not usually stressed. Remember, we said that unstressed syllables are usually in a given word, and there are also some parts of a sentence that are not usually stressed. The ones that are stressed are called content words, while the ones that are unstressed are called function words. That is for sentence stressed. But now, how do we identify unstressed syllables or unstressed words? One, unstressed syllables are quieter. They are quieter when compared to stressed syllables and words. Two, they are shorter in duration. Unlike the stressed syllables and words that are longer in duration, unstressed syllables are shorter in duration, and unstressed words are also shorter in duration. Three, often. Often they have a sure sound in English. Unstressed syllables often have a sure sound. Remember, we said that the unstressed syllables are usually quieter and shorter. And one of the most prominent features of the schwa sound is that wherever it occurs in a word, it is usually shorter, weaker, and more quieter. It's quieter than other syllables. Wherever the schwa sound occurs, it is usually quieter, it is often weak and unstressed. So, wherever the schwa sound occurs, it is it is usually an unstressed syllable. So often they have a schwa sound in English. Unstressed syllables have a schwa sound in English. For proper understanding, you can go back to my lesson on on the schwa sound. On the schwa sound. The schwa sound is the weakest and the shortest sound in English. So wherever it occurs in a given syllable, whatever syllable that contains the schwa sound is usually short, is often shorter than other syllables in that word. Finally, we will be concluding this class with some key takeaways that we have to always remember when we are dealing with the topic stress. One, most two syllable nouns and adjectives stress the first syllable. Most two syllable nouns and adjectives, that is, words that are made up of two syllables and are either noun or adjectives, usually have their stress on the first syllable. For example, in the word table, table. In the word table, we have two syllables, and the first one is stressed. Tay, why b is unstressed because it is shorter and more silent. Then in the word happy, which is an adjective, happy, the syllable ha is is stressed, which is the first syllable, while the syllable p is not stressed. Two, most two syllable verbs stress the second syllable. Most two syllable verbs stress the second syllable, e.g., relax, relax. In the word relax, lax is the second syllable and it takes the stress. Return, return. Turn is the second syllable and it takes the stress. So by the time someone is speaking and they say relax, relax, the word is not pronounced correctly because the word relax will always be a verb. It will always be a verb, and the stress will occur on the second syllable. The word return, return will always be yeah, here, return here is a verb and the stress is on the second syllable. Three, many words change meaning based on stress. Many words change meaning based on stress. For example, like we mentioned earlier, the word record. Record here, record is a noun while the word record is a verb. Record has its stress on the second syllable record as its stress on the first syllable. So many words change meaning based on stress. The word record is a noun because the stress is on the second syllable, while the word record is a noun. Remember, it's the same word, but having the stress on different syllables. So many words change their meaning based on where the stress is put. 4. Sentence stress contributes to the meaning and rhythm of speech. Yes, sentence stress contributes to the rhythm and meaning of speech. It helps us to understand the progression at which the speaker is trying to talk, or the writer is trying to communicate. So sentence stress contributes to the rhythm, to the meaning we give a word in a sentence. All right, so just as we have always done, it is very important to examine your understanding of each of the items or elements that you have learned in today's class by going through some WAEC English past questions on the topic word and sentence stress. So, first of all, we will be looking at word stress question 1. From the words lettered A to D, choose the one that has the correct stress pattern for the word cumulative. Cumulative. Here, there are four syllables, and you are to examine the syllable. You are to look for the syllable that has the stress, that bears the stress. Cumulative, 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 cumulative. So, with or without a dictionary, you should be able to find the stress on this word. In the word cumulative, the third syllable is stressed. So, you will capitalize L and A. So, you have cumulative. The third syllable is stressed. So, our answer to that question is in option C. Question 2. Concessionaire. 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 In the word concessionaire, you're to pick the syllable that is stressed. Remember, we have concessionaire. So pick the syllable that is stressed. Question 3. You are to choose the correct stress pattern for the word horizontal. Horizontal. Remember, when you are pronouncing the word wrongly, you will not be able to identify where the stress falls. So you have to be conscious of your pronunciation and ensure that you are pronouncing the word correctly. Horizontal. Horizontal. There are four syllables in the word horizontal. So pick the syllable that contains the stress. The answer to that question is in option C. Option C, and that is the third syllable. Apathetic. Apathetic. Do not mind what is on the screen. The answer to that question is in option C. Apathetic. It is longer. That third is longer and louder than the remaining part of the word. Now let's move to sentence stress. Sentence stress question 1. Mr. Jones always locks the back door. Mr. Jones always locks the back door. Here, the word always has been emphasized. Does Mr. Jones always lock the front door? Does Mr. Jones seldom lock the back door? Does Mr. John always lock the back door? Does Mr. Jones always open the back door? So you are to answer the question, you are to look for the word that answers the given question. That is, you're going to look for that part of the sentence that negates what the speaker is trying to tell us. Okay, let us look for the answer to that question. Mr. Jones always locks the back door. The word always is emphasized in that word, and it's an adverb. So you're to look for the sentence that negates the word always. What part of the what option in the what sentence in the option goes against the word always? Does Mr. John always lock the front door? Always is still repeated. B. Does Mr. Jones seldom lock the back door? Always is changed to seldom in section in option B. Okay, so that makes option B the correct answer. So you have to look for that sentence that changes the emphasized word to another word in its option. That is going to be the correct answer. Okay, so Ade is my youngest brother in that sentence has been changed to is Abu my youngest brother. Ade there has been changed to Abu. Remember I mentioned earlier that wherever the the given word, the emphasized word, the stressed word is changed to another word. That is going to be your answer. So Ade has been repeated in the remaining options, but it has been changed in option C. So Ade has been changed to Abu in option C. That makes option C the correct answer. Sentence stress question 3. He is the press photographer. He is the press photographer. Is she the press photographer? Was he the press photographer? Is he the museum photographer? Is he the press editor? Okay, so you have to pick the sentence that negates the given sentence. The answer to that question is in option A. All right. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. I want to applaud your diligence. I want to applaud you for staying till the end of this class. But be sure to uh, go through many other questions in order to have a better understanding of today's lesson. Thank you for watching. I'll see you some other time.